As Till Lindemann from Rammstein says, Germany! Alright, we've just seen Bash in Berlin in Germany, live on August 31st, 2024, and I'm going to be looking to keep this video short and sweet, especially after my video covering Summerslam ended up being 33 minutes long and took approximately 3 weeks to write, record, and edit. Link to that video down in the description. Bash in Berlin was alright. Definitely felt like a cool down B-show quality event coming out of SummerSlam at the start of August. Not that it had any need to be more than that. The German crowd was still hot and loud for it, and that's what truly mattered. None of the matches upset me or disappointed me like some of the matches on SummerSlam did, but even if the in-ring work was more consistent and solid than SummerSlam's lows, the matches here at Bash in Berlin lacked the same amount of stakes, drama, and unpredictability. That said, let's get on to the first match of the evening. Bash in Berlin kicked off heavy with the WWE Championship match right out of the gate, Kevin Owens having been hesitant to accept Cody Rhodes' challenging of him to challenge him for the title, first out of humbleness, not feeling like he deserved a shot at the WWE Championship, and then later having expressed concern for what might come of their friendship afterward. Cody Rhodes, however, refused to let Kevin Owens say no to challenging him, inspiring Kevin Owens to step up, face him, and not hold anything back. To start things off, Cody and Kevin shook hands as a show of respect before engaging in some basic wrestling grappling, starting things slow and easy. Cody attempted his first disaster kick early, but Kevin caught him, but instead of capitalizing with a follow-up as he'll continue to do as this match goes on, Kevin simply let go of Cody and shook his finger at him. Cody tried for the disaster kick a second time, and this time Kevin Owens ducked under it to make Cody crash to the mat, and followed up with a straight senton down onto Cody, dealing some pain now. Finishers from both were attempted but avoided for now, but after that exchange, Cody and Kevin went face to face with each other, getting serious and ready to kick this up a notch. The fight went outside, where Kevin caught Cody with a cannonball senton dive off the ring apron to the floor outside. Cody would soon get him back with a suicide dive, though, keeping them even. Cody spent the next few minutes in control of the action, but Kevin halted Cody's lead by bodying into him on the apron to bounce him off and send him crashing into the barricade outside, and then Kevin followed that with a straight splash off the apron onto Cody on the floor, seeming to deal notable damage. Kevin had control of the match now for a bit until Cody eventually fought back into it, but after taking down Kevin with a power slam and finally connecting with a successful disaster kick, Cody laid on the mat, heaving and looking like he was struggling to breathe normally, likely hurting from the splash he took on the floor earlier. Cody kept fighting through that, though, hitting Kevin with a Cody cutter. Kevin survived and got Cody back with the package neckbreaker to the knee thing that Kevin Owens does, and then they went to the corner where Kevin took Cody down with something I've never seen him do, a rolling fireman's carry senton off the ropes. Going for finishers now, Kevin went for a stunner, but Cody reversed it into his crossroads, but Kevin kicked out just in time. Back up on the turnbuckles they went, Kevin hitting Cody again with another big move, this time being his fisherman buster off the ropes. Back and forth they went afterward with a fist-flying brawl, but when Cody went to go off the top rope for a Cody cutter attempt, his knee buckled and he fell back down to the mat. As Cody pulled himself back up, Kevin Owens behind him looked like he really wanted to attack Cody's bad knee with a chop block from behind, but the good guy side of Kevin couldn't bring himself to do it. Cody rolled out of the ring and collapsed at ringside, and Kevin Owens followed to yell at Cody, asking what he's doing, why he's fighting on a bad knee. Cody yelled back at Kevin that his knee's fine, so Kevin said, "I bet," and kicked Cody's leg out of his leg.
And that's why I kicked your leg out of your leg.
After, Kevin grabbed Cody in position for an apron powerbomb, Kevin Owens' most vicious attack, but again, like the chop block, Kevin can't bring himself to break the body of his friend. Back in the ring one last time, it was time to hit the finishers. Kevin first hit a stunner on Cody, but Cody kicked out. Cody returned looking for a trio of crossroads, of which he hit 2, but Kevin reversed the third to hit Cody with a second stunner, but Cody kicked out again. Kevin went for a swanton off the top, but Cody put his knees up to block the dive. Cody grabbed Kevin Owens to drop him with one more crossroads, and that was the final one to earn Cody Rhodes the win. Kevin afterward looked devastated and frustrated that he couldn't bring himself to do what he needed to win the match, but in the end, he was able to swallow his pride to hug it out with Cody afterward. This match was good, and I loved seeing all the moves Kevin Owens did on Cody, including at least one which I've never seen him do before. That said, face versus face matches often lack any amount of drama or story substance to sink your teeth into and feel emotionally invested in. Kevin Owens seems on the verge of revisiting his viciously violent side soon, however, so a rematch for round 2 should provide that drama. This first round, however, gets 4 1/4 stars. Next up, a match that had the feel of a Raw or SmackDown main event rather than something that needed to take a premium live event spot. Not that I'm complaining that it did. I'm happy for these competitors getting their payday. This just had a major lack of heat, drama, and anything else that'd make it stand out. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair challenged the Unholy Union, Alba Fire, and Isla Dawn in their rematch for the Women's Tag Team Championship, which the challengers here had stolen from them back in June at Clash at the Castle. Starting this match, all 4 competitors went wild on each other until things settled and Bianca Belair and Alba Fire officially got the match started. Bianca displayed her power early, slamming Alba Fire with a big delayed jogging-in-place suplex. The heel champions took control not too long after, however, pulling on Bianca's long braided ponytail to neutralize her the best they could. Going outside for a moment, Jade Cargill came around to try intervening to help Bianca back into things, but Alba Fire cut her off with a suicide dive that took her down and kept her from helping Bianca. As this match went on, Bianca continued to play the babyface in peril role for a while that's common in tag team matches, Alba and Isla frequently double-teaming on Bianca, beating her down to overwhelm her and keep her from tagging out to partner Jade for as long as they could. Bianca at one point got close to a tag, but Alba Fire cut her off with a double-purpose tornado DDT, not only driving Bianca's head into the mat, but also kicking Jade Cargill down from the ring apron at the same time. Sometime later, Jade Cargill finally got the hot tag in, single-handedly taking down both of the Unholy Union, Alba with a fall-away slam and Isla with a jackhammer. A last-ditch effort from Unholy Union to come back saw them use a blind tag, where the tag is made in secrecy, usually blind to the opponent team, to confuse Jade and Bianca for a moment. But the sheer power of Jade and Bianca made that last not too long, dropping Alba with a double flapjack or gorilla press type of move. After one last hopeful flurry from the champions to lead things to the end, Bianca tossed Alba Fire out of the ring where she's caught by Jade Cargill on the outside, throwing Alba Fire into the barricade. Back in the ring, Jade and Bianca hit their double-team finisher on Isla Dawn, pinning her to reclaim the women's tag titles that they lost some 10 or so weeks ago. This match was acceptably good and solid, but was formulaic and ununique at the same time. I end with a 3.5-star score. Following on from their ultimately meh Summerslam match, CM Punk and Drew McIntyre met again in Berlin to turn things up a few notches, this time fighting in a 4 corners version of a strap match, where both competitors are strapped in to an end of a leather strap and must touch each turnbuckle around the ring uninterrupted by their opponent to win. After Drew spent the past few weeks criticizing Punk for always attacking him from behind, Drew McIntyre hit CM Punk from behind on the ring apron while he was entering, starting the action early as they fought outside. Back in, Drew got some whips with a strap in on Punk before the referee finally got them strapped in officially to start the match. Drew maintained his ill-gotten early advantage, pulling Punk around with a strap to force him crashing into the ring apron, and more whips from the strap. Drew touched the first turnbuckle of the match, but Punk soon cut him off with a surprisingly early go-to-sleep to reset the turnbuckle touches. With Drew down, Punk contemplated going for the turnbuckles for a moment, but decided screw it, he would rather punish and whip Drew with a strap some instead. Outside, Drew tried for a Future Shock DDT on the announce table, the move which originally injured CM Punk's triceps at the Royal Rumble in January, but Punk flipped Drew over with a back body drop onto the announce table instead. Drew was ultimately unfazed, however, coming back by ramming Punk into the ring apron, whipping Punk with the strap some more, and striking Punk with a steel chair all on the outside as well. Drew brought the chair and CM Punk back inside the ring, where Drew power-slammed Punk onto the chair, where afterward we saw blood starting to appear on the face of CM Punk. Drew moved to the corner where he wedged the same chair between its turnbuckles. Remember that for later. But Punk came up as Drew turned back around, and Punk got Drew with his Shining Wizard Bulldog combo. Back outside on opposite ends of a ring post, Punk pulled the strap to bring Drew in, crashing face first into the ring post between them. Punk, while still outside, pulled a table out from under the ring and set it up near the ring apron. Remember that for later. Meeting back in the ring, Drew caught CM Punk with a Claymore kick and got 3 of the turnbuckles touched, but Punk rolled out of the ring to stop Drew, pulling on the strap to bring Drew crashing into the chair wedged in the corner. Told you to remember it. With Drew down from that, Punk got 3 of the turnbuckles touched, but Drew straight up out-muscled Punk to stop him from winning. Punk went for another Shining Wizard in the corner, but Drew caught Punk cradled like a baby and dropped him over the ropes through the table CM Punk set up at ringside. Told you to remember that too. Drew pulled Punk back into the ring and lifted him over his shoulder to carry him around the ring while touching the corners to prevent Punk from pulling on the strap to stop Drew, but behind Drew's back, Punk was also touching the turnbuckles too, so by the time Drew was heading for the last one, CM Punk was on his last turnbuckle too. Punk and Drew struggled with each other, trying to touch the last turnbuckle to win while also trying to hold the other back. But eventually they had to just outright fight each other again, resetting everyone's turnbuckle touches. Eventually, both men were down, and it was anyone's game. Punk was the first one back up, however, and Punk got Drew trapped in a sharpshooter. Surprisingly, Drew McIntyre was filmed tapping out to Punk's sharpshooter, but in a 4-corner strap match, tapping out isn't going to do a damn thing to stop it, so Punk kept the sharpshooter locked in and Drew kept tapping until eventually he was passed out from the pain like Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 13. Punk got 2 turnbuckles touched before Drew woke back up, pulling on the strap to stop him, pulling Punk into a neck breaker to drop him. Drew back up, he pulled CM Punk's family bracelet out from somewhere in his trunks, and Drew hit Punk with a Claymore kick, but Punk stirred enough to stop Drew from touching the final turnbuckle. Punk pulled Drew back in by the strap to drop him with a go-to-sleep in the middle of the ring, and then another one, after Punk noticed Drew still holding onto his foot. Punk got 2 turnbuckles touched, but Drew's half-conscious body had rolled over to try stopping Punk from going further, so Punk lifted Drew for a 3rd go-to-sleep. Punk touched the 3rd turnbuckle, but when Drew was still providing just a little too much resistance on the strap for Punk's liking, he hit Drew with a 4th and final go-to-sleep in a row. Talk about overkill. With Drew fully out now, Punk made sure to take his bracelet back from Drew finally, and finally hit the final turnbuckle to win, bracelet in hand. As Punk celebrated with enthusiastic fans in the crowd, I have to say I had a lot of fun watching this. I never before would have ever thought I would like a 4 corners version of a strap match, but this match made me like a 4 corners version of a strap match. This match is worth a whole star more than their first match at SummerSlam with referee Seth Rollins, R.I.P. Seth. So 4 3/4 stars this gets. Terror Twins, Damian Priest, and Rhea Ripley are on the warpath for revenge against the Judgment Day who betrayed them, facing Dom Mysterio and Liv Morgan here on this night. Let's hope they got the retribution they've been looking for. Judgment Day must pay. Dom wanted nothing to do with Damian at the start, not that I blame him. Damian caught Dom and went off on him till Dom got away to tag out to Liv. Liv got up in Damian's face, so Damian said, "Begone, thought," and put his hand up to cover her cooties. Rhea stepped in to take over, beating Liv down. Switch again when Liv tagged out, bringing Dom and Damian back in, the ass-kicking staying in the same direction. After their brawl went outside and came back in, Damian on his way on the apron is not so much stopped, but sidetracked by Liv Morgan grabbing his foot. Dom capitalized on Damian taking his eyes off of him by barging him off the ring apron into the comm table outside, and Dom went on the attack from there. Before too long, however, Damian overpowered Dom, turning it back around with a broken arrow and tag out to Rhea. Rhea maintained the attack on Liv, taking her down as soon as she came in. Meanwhile, though, Dom getting up in the corner caught Rhea's eye, so Rhea stepped up to Dom in a threatening way. Possibly out of intimidation and not knowing what else to do, Dom held his arms out, offering a hug to Rhea as if they could just kiss and make up, but Rhea said, "Hell nah," and beat Dom down intergender style, Rhea trying to pop Dom's head like a damn melon between her thighs. Rhea went to slam Dom with a riptide, but Liv interrupted to stop her. Liv then hit Rhea with a really unique move, taking Rhea down with something that was part crucifix pin, part sunset flip bomb, but executed from something like an octopus stretch position. A move that in any event slammed Rhea off her feet into a pin, but Rhea kicked out of it. Liv afterward charged toward Rhea to stay on the attack, but Rhea from the mat quickly neutralized her with a nasty-looking kick to the head. A tag was made and Damien got Dom down for a pin, but Liv was there to break it up in time to save the match. Side by side, the Terror Twins slammed Dom and Liv with razor's edges in stereo, but not long after, the grunts of Judgment Day, Carlito, and JD McDonough entered to interfere, but the Terror Twins maintained their control, successfully fending them off for now. While Rhea was still on the outside from fending the pests of Judgment Day off, Liv came around the corner and leapt off the steel steps to take Rhea down with a painful-looking sunset flip bomb that sent Rhea crashing into the barricade with the back of her head. Dom, meanwhile, leapt off the top turnbuckle toward Damien in the ring, but Damien caught him by the throat. Before he could deliver a chokeslam, though, Finn Balor joined the fight and took Damien down with a sling blade. Dom followed up with a 619 and a frog splash from the top, but Damien kicked out. Dom tagged out to Liv, who dove out onto Rhea with a wild suicide dive. Back inside, though, Liv went to hit Rhea with her Oblivion finisher, but Rhea held on to Liv to reverse it and drop her over her knee with a backbreaker. After distraction from JD McDonough to stop Rhea from maintaining advantage, however, Liv hit a successful codebreaker on Rhea, but that was kicked out of it too. On the outside, Damian Priest fought against all of Judgment Day, taking them down, pouncing JD McDonough over the announce table and such, until their numbers inevitably became too much for the single Damian Priest to continue managing for longer. Damian wound up on the announce table while Dom readied to deliver a move to him, but when Dom charged, Damian turned to counter, hitting Dom with a strong clothesline that flipped him over before crashing down on top of the announce table himself. In ring, meanwhile, Rhea hit Liv with a headbutt and ended her with a riptide to score the win for the Terror Twins. This was a really fun match and made up for how upset Rhea versus Liv one-on-one at Summerslam made me, but now, here's my big rant for this video. I saw just about every other wrestling channel I follow here on YouTube predict that Judgment Day would win this, even stating outright that Judgment Day should have won this, but I didn't get that at all. The argument made was that this new version of Judgment Day needed to establish themselves as a threat to be taken seriously again after the banishing of Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, but that's not what I took this match to be about at all. Any time in the future beyond this match, Judgment Day can come back and be big baddies again, but this specific match was specifically about Dom and Liv getting their comeuppance for what they pulled at SummerSlam. Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest both got screwed into suffering losses at SummerSlam and were made to look like fools because of the tomfoolery of Judgment Day and their now new member, Liv Morgan. There was zero chance of them both, two of WWE's biggest and hottest stars right now, losing again here in Berlin. Yes, it would be best for the sake of story for the new Judgment Day to reestablish their credibility by backing up their threats with the actions to match, but this wasn't the time or place. The time for that can and should still come. Judgment Day are like cockroaches in more ways than one, namely though being that they will survive this, they won't be hurt by this loss in the long run, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. So don't worry, other channels I follow. Dom and Liv can take this loss because this is still far from over. Damien won't be done going through hell to fight the demons in Judgment Day until he gets the revenge he's seeking from Finn Balor, the new frontman of Judgment Day and Damien's former partner till he turned on him. And Rhea Ripley won't be done chasing after Dom and Liv Morgan until Liv Morgan is left with nothing, just as Rhea was thanks to the actions of Liv seeking her own maniacal revenge against Rhea. That's what the end game of this all is going to be, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if this rivalry twists and turns to last all the way till next year's WrestleMania. So until then, and whatever comes afterward, I wouldn't worry about the integrity of Judgment Day's credibility as a whole one bit. I realize as I finish writing this that I've remained on the same picture of Rhea having Liv Morgan folded in half for a while now, and I promise that wasn't intentional. Anyway, 4.25 stars. Main event time in Berlin. The Austrian Gunther, World Heavyweight Champion, defending against the man he beat 3 months ago in the King of the Ring final by pinfall with one shoulder way off the mat, Randy Orton. This match did indeed stem from the need to rematch to correct that grave mistake at King of the Ring back in May. Will Randy make good on his second chance against Gunther? Or, more appropriately, is Gunther capable of getting a definitive, non-controversial win against the Viper? Let's see how this one goes. During the ring introductions to start, after Randy is announced first, the German Ludwig Kaiser, partner of Gunther, appeared and rudely interrupted Samantha Irvin to announce Gunther himself instead. The match itself began slow with test of strength grappling to start. Gunther started throwing chops to the chest not long after, Gunther establishing an early advantage. Gunther stayed on the attack outside where he trapped Randy's head against the steel ring post and squeezed like he was trying to crack a walnut open. Randy improved his chances, though, when he reversed an Irish whip that sent Gunther crashing into the ringside steel steps instead. Gunther sold like he hurt his arm in colliding with the ring steps, so Randy began targeting Gunther's hurt arm, striking at it and throwing the big Austrian into the steel steps again. The referee in ring gave these two heavyweights a lot of leeway fighting on the outside, drawing his 10 count way out to allow Randy Orton to back suplex Gunther onto the unbreaking commentary table not once, not twice, not thrice, but 4 times. After that, they went back in the ring. Whenever Gunther would try to chop Randy Orton now, the impacts of his chops would continuously seem to shoot pain throughout Gunther's arm, meaning they could no longer be delivered with full strength for now, though Gunther would continue to try. Gunther attempted to put Randy Orton in a sleeper hold this early on in the match, but Randy was able to twist Gunther's arm and escape rather easily. Randy spent the following spell in control, getting Gunther with a power slam and a superplex from the top, but Gunther hung in there. Just as Gunther was beginning to fight back into the match, gritting his teeth and bearing through the pain in his arm, the Viper went dirty, Randy poking Gunther straight in the eye blatantly in front of the referee, but again, leeway from the referee meant that Randy's dirty move went unpunished. Randy got Gunther with his vintage draping DDT, but the subsequent RKO attempt was reversed by Gunther, who slammed Randy with a German suplex in Berlin. Gunther stayed hot on the attack, getting Randy with his T-Rex drop kick and a splash from the top, but Randy survived. Gunther grabbed Randy for a powerbomb, but his hurt arm would give out, unable to lift Randy up to his head for the move. Gunther decided instead to clothesline Randy with his non-hurt but non-dominant arm, doing just enough to buy some time for Gunther to try lifting him for a powerbomb again. After Randy Orton back suplexed Gunther onto the announce table 4 times earlier some time ago, another instance of 4 came up in this match as Gunther, after his first attempt, finally powered Randy Orton up for a powerbomb, and not the second, not the third, but the 4th attempt of it. Randy survived the move, however. Gunther went to go for it again, another powerbomb, but Randy Orton reversed the attempt and dropped Gunther with an RKO, Gunther kicking out this time. Randy went outside and decided to start doing some rearranging, moving the bottom half of the steel steps next to the German announce table, setting up for a big move. Gunther came up, trying to intercept and stop what Randy was planning, but Randy neutralized Gunther's interference by back suplexing him onto the bottom half of the ring steps. With the extra time, Randy completed the stair set, reattaching the top steps before lifting Gunther up and slamming him down with one more back suplex from the top of the steps down, busting through the German announce table. From the top of the steps still, Big Randy struck his lil pose. Back in the ring for the last time, Randy went to RKO Gunther once more, but Gunther found a way to block it and catch Randy in a sleeper hold instead. Randy at once broke free, but as soon as he got away, Gunther swung a chop directly to the back of Randy's neck before putting the sleeper hold back on, clubbing him with elbows to wear him down more. Randy's last effort to break out of the sleeper saw him rise up with Gunther clinging onto his back to throw himself back down onto his back and slam himself onto Gunther. While a break was momentarily made, Gunther, like the Terminator himself, sat back up largely unfazed, putting the sleeper hold back on for the 3rd time, and this time, The Viper took his nap. Capping off this really good main event, the two competitors shared a handshake in the ring out of good sportsmanship and respect as Bash in Berlin came to an end. This will be the third match getting the same score from me of the night, but truthfully, for this one and the other two, nothing any higher or any less would feel right. 4.25 stars is the score of the match for the third time on this night. And that's it for Bash in Berlin 2024. This was a seriously solid show, with 4 of the 5 matches here being over 4 stars and the one that fell short still being worth 3.5. This may be my highest rated show yet, looking purely at the in-ring aspect of it, but I don't know. I don't quite feel strongly enough about it to say that having the highest average match rating automatically means it's my show of the year so far. For in-ring entertainment, it was amazing consistently, but a big, equally consistent lack of drama and stakes outside of the Punk vs. Drew strap match. I feel like slots it below the previous Summerslam in my mind, and likely other shows too from earlier in the year. Still though, this was really good. Taking a quick look at my wrestlers leaderboard to give an update on that this time around, it's cool to see my match rating for Punk vs. Drew brought CM Punk's average way up into the top 20, now highlighted by a thick black border in my Excel document, ending with number 20, Solo Sikoa. Remember, this document shows no subjectiveness from me, it's all up to the math of averaging out my star ratings. Looking ahead to what's next, WWE's Bad Blood will take place on October 5th, just a few days before the release of the Silent Hill 2 remake. Everyone here watching for my WWE reviews, thank you so much, and I can't wait to catch you on the next one covering Bad Blood. In the meantime, hopefully, given I finally have the time, mentioning Silent Hill 2 and gaming in the general sense, I'm still greatly looking forward to beginning my journey into the world of gaming content. I want to begin a series of playthroughs going through Twisted Metal 1 on PS5 with every character in the game, but first I'm going to release a video introducing the game itself with unscripted commentary from me, so I myself can make a video with which I can figure out and test my ability to edit together gameplay footage recorded from a PS5 with audio of my live-in-the-moment commentary, which will be recorded simultaneously yet separately. At the end of that Twisted Metal 1 intro video, I will also spin a wheel in a web browser to determine who will be the first character I play as in the game, leaving it entirely up to fate which order I'll play through the characters in the game as. If that sounds like fun to you, I can't wait to see you guys over there in that video as well. Beyond that, or likely even concurrently, I would love to make videos covering a playthrough and maybe even more of Silent Hill 2 as well, once I finally have the remake of that masterpiece of a horror game in my hands. It's going to make me more than happy being able to cover a little bit of everything I love in this world and sharing all that I create with you. As well as I create and share for the passions I love in this world, I hope you all too are able to find and enjoy what you love too, because life is a cycle and love is life. Turn your losses into lessons and keep the future in sight. If what you enjoy in life isn't clear now, never lose hope and never stop searching, because what you love will come to you someday. Never give up on finding everything you need to make your heart feel full. Thanks again, everybody still listening this deep into my video outro. Take care and have a good one.